Hi everyone, and welcome once again to Southside Dodge Rebels this week. We've got game highlights for you, 3 games as a matter of fact. We've got news and notes from around the Western Hockey League. We've got Train Like a Rebel, Skill Zone, and in just a few moments' time, Jared Waldo will be right here as we go in the corners with Jared Waldo. But let's start off this week's episode by showing you some highlights. Last Tuesday, the Rebels visited one of their arch rivals, the Medicine Hat Tigers. Tyson Ness with the Rebels' first good shot. Cam Lanigan makes the save. Rebound comes out front. Devin Fafford's shot is blocked. Matt Bellerive gets a great chance, but Lanigan sprawls to keep it out. Joel Hamilton steals the puck in the Tigers' zone. He feeds a wide open Wyatt Johnson, who goes top shelf on Lanigan for a shorty and a 1-0 Rebels lead. Mark McCoy with the puck this time. He tees it up for Cody Teal, who winds and fires but is denied. More pressure from the Rebels. Turner Elson charges hard, tries to jam it past Lanigan, but can't. Tigers looking to get on the board before the end of the period, but Trevor Cox is denied twice by Patrick Bartasak. Boston Lear turned aside, 1-0 Rebels after 1. Lear with the puck again, carries it right into the blue paint. He comes oh so close to scoring, but Bartasak gets just enough to make the save. Bartasak's great lower body strength helping out that time. Wyatt Johnson takes the pass, then takes a seat, courtesy of Kyle Becker. A turnover in the Rebels zone ends up on the stick of Stephen Orr, but he can't capitalize. Curtis Volk tries with a backhander, but he too is turned aside by Bartasak. Tyler Lewington with a high riser from the point. Bartasak gets a shoulder on that one. This time a sharp angle shot from Curtis Volk, but once again Bartasak stands tall, then pounces on the rebound. Bartasak had Volk's number on this night, turning aside this one-timer blast. Elgin Pierce finds himself all alone in the slot. He thinks he scores on the play, but Bartasak puts that thought to sleep. On to the third period. Ness brings it to the net. Bellerive can't convert from in close. Spencer Jensen's point shot is stopped. Pierce fires wide on the rebound. Derek Rickman sets up a wide open Lear, but he too is denied once again by Bartasak. Rebels get their goalie another insurance marker, and it's an absolute gem as Corey Miette and Turner Elson work the give and go to perfection. Miette caps it off with his 6th for a 3-0 lead. Then the Rebels put this one to bed thanks to a lucky bounce that works out for Connor Bleakley. The puck goes off the end boards, off Flanagan skating in. Bleakley's 4th makes it 4-0. At the other end, Pierce gets another chance to put the Tigers on the scoreboard, but can't. Rebels get a couple more scoring chances of their own. This time Mark Langhammer shuts the door, but the damage was already done. The Rebels blank the Tigers 4-0.
Most of the shots yesterday was just like point shots or shots right in my crest, right in my chest, and so yeah, team has helped me really good on the defensive side. No really good scoring chances. It was just like lots of shots, but kind of easy shots for me last night and a few nights before. So yeah, I think it's not about me. It's about team for sure.
Game data brought to you by 247reddeer.ca. Patrick Bartasak with an absolute gem between the pipes, earning his first shutout of the season. So after a couple practice days, the Rebels were back on home ice here at the NMAX Centrium Friday night, taking on for the first time this season the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Joel Topping playing in his first WHL game in his hometown. He was a key member of last year's Midget AAA National Championship team here in Red Deer. Lethbridge scores first in this one. Great work behind the net by Sam McKechnie to set up Jamin Jakubowski out front. He beats Bartasak for a 1-0 Hurricanes lead early in the first. Corey Miette makes a nice play to set up Wyatt Johnson in the slot, but Johnson hits the post. Reese Dino makes a great move to beat the defense, but can't get a good shot away from in tight. Brady Ramsey wins a foot race to the loose puck, but Bartasak was there to close the door. We've got fisticuffs. Devin Fafford squares off with Jakubowski late in the first period. Both helmets go flying. Fafford lands a couple of rights, real good ones too, but Jakubowski stands in there, pulls Fafford's jersey over his face to try and get something going late, but Fafford gets the decision. Brooks Maxwell, playing against his cousin Russell Maxwell, shoots but is stopped by Ty Rimmer. Mark McCoy finds the puck out front but fires wide. Connor Bleakley shows off his great hands, goes between the legs with his effort but is denied by Rimmer, who covers the rebound. Great creativity by Bleakley. At the other end, Patrick Bartosak standing tall, robbing Russell Maxwell on this shot from in close. Hurricanes on the power play. Puck comes over to Mason Urkamps, who slides it toward the open net, but Bartosak leaps over just in time to cover up. Tyler Wong comes in from right wing, beats Bartosak up high, but nails the crossbar. Blakely again with the puck late in the second period. Spins and fires. He banks it off Albin Bloomquist and past Rimmer for his 5th of the season, his 3rd in as many games. 1-1 through 40 minutes. In the third, Matthew Dumba shoots, but Rimmer comes well out to snuff out that scoring chance. Tyson Ness is stopped by Rimmer. Rebound lands right on the stick of Matt Bellerive, but Rimmer again saves the day for his club by flashing the leather. Bellerive can't believe it. Brady Gaudet falls, gives the Hurricanes a 3-on-1. They try the give and go, but can't get a shot on net. Regulation and overtime would solve nothing, so it was off to a shootout. Jay Merkley shot first for Lethbridge and was unsuccessful. Reese Dino shot first for the Rebels, could not beat Ty Rimmer. Then it was Sam McKechnie's turn for the Canes, but Bartosak got the left pad out for that one. Matt Bellerive up next for the Rebels. He puts it in off the bar, giving the Rebels a 1-goal lead. That meant Jakubowski had to score to keep the Hurricanes alive, but Patrick Bartosak does it again. The Rebels win their 4th game in a row, 2-1.
It was one of those nights where obviously their goalie played extremely well, as did ours when he needed to be. So after the first 8 minutes, we got moving, and we were standing around a lot the first 8 minutes, and we allowed them to control that portion of the game. But once we got going, we started playing the way that we want to play, and we were much better on the puck pursuit and pressure, and we had a lot of quality scoring chances.
I think I started off slow, and I was turning the puck over, but I kind of refocused in the intermission there, and I think I buried on one of my worst chances, but I'll take them any way they can come.
The Rebels likely deserved to win this game with how well they played in regulation time. Eventually, they got the shootout winner. Our final game in this week's episode took place here at the NMAX Centrium on Saturday night. The Moose Jaw Warriors came calling. Some Christmas spirit spilling over from Festival of Trees next door. Another member of last year's Midget AAA Championship squad making his hometown dub debut. This time it's Kirk Johnson. Cormier charges hard toward the Moose Jaw net, running right into goalie Daniel Wapple. Matt Bellerive takes the same path towards the net, gets bumped into Wapple by a back-checking Travis Brown. Bellerive still gets called for the goaltender interference. Joel Edmondson, however, takes a dumb cross-checking penalty to go with it. Turner Elson pulls up and feeds Matthew Dumba for the one-timer. Wapple with the stick save. Scramble in front of the Warriors' net. Blakely can't find it. Miette does, circles the cage. Mark McCoy has a wide-open net but misses. Dumba with another great chance, but it goes clank off the crossbar. Brandon Potomac with a great burst of speed blows past Boomgarden, but Patrick Bartosak is there to save the day, and not just once as the Warriors turn up the heat. Justin Kirsch circles with the puck, finds Carter Hansen, who doesn't get a great shot away, but the rebound finds its way right back to Kirsch. He shoots through a screen for his 10th of the season. 1-0 Moose Jaw leads. Joel Hamilton fires from the left dot. Nice pad save by Wapple. Elson with the puck again, and again he finds Dumba in the slot. This time he outweights Wapple and goes top shelf for his 6th of the season. Rebels tie at 1-1 early in the third. After dishing off twice, Elson keeps it this time and goes with the Savarnian spinorama. Can't beat Wapple, but some nice creativity by the captain. The 17-year-old netminder looking pretty darn good in this one. Better keep your head up when cutting across the middle. That's where Dumba likes to sit. This game would also go to a shootout. Reese Dino snaps one home to give the Rebels the lead. Braden Point up next for Moose Jaw, and what a move he puts on Bartosak. The shootout knotted up at 1. Matt Bellerive up next for the Rebels. He's denied by Wapple. Sam Fioretti almost puts the Warriors ahead, but Bartosak somehow closes the 5-hole to keep it out, setting the stage for extra shooters. Connor Blakely for the Rebels. He goes top shelf for the game winner. The Rebels, for the second time in as many nights, win 2-1 in a shootout.
There's times through the year where you're going to win some games that you probably don't deserve to win, and there's times where you play extremely well and you don't win. So it kind of evens out throughout the season, and tonight was one of those nights where we certainly didn't have our A game, but I was proud of the proud of the young men, where they played in the third period, and even though we didn't have a very good first 2 periods, we were much better in the third, and we played and competed a lot harder, and and some character and leadership showed up in the third that we needed, and we found a way to win. At the end of the day, at the end of the season, you're not going to look back at this game and say, geez, they sure didn't play well in that game. You're going to look back and say, they found a way to win, and those are big points, and every point you get is huge.
We relied on Patty early, and Patty made some great saves. He really held us in there. And then we just got on the horse in the third period and started putting pucks to the net and started playing our game. And sometimes you got to win that way, and tonight we did that.
Start of the season, those goals I let in, I didn't see too many shots and stuff, so it was kind of hard. But now team has helped me in the defense a lot, and I can see 90-95% of the shots. So that's why I make 40-45 saves. I hate overtimes. I'm nervous in overtime, and I wish it's over every time, because I know I think I can solve shootouts pretty good. So I feel more confident on shootouts than in overtime.
The Rebels pull out the 2 points at home despite being outplayed throughout much of the game by the Moose Jaw Warriors. But once again, Patrick Bartosak was the difference. Here's a look at the Rebels' scoring leaders, with Turner Elson taking over top spot. Rebels right in the mix when it comes to the Central Division standings, sitting behind Calgary and Edmonton and ahead of Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and Kootenay. 2 more home games coming up this weekend for your Red Deer Rebels. On Friday, Shaw TV will have the broadcast as they host Medicine Hat Tigers. Then it's Toot Toss night on Saturday. 106.7 The Drive, proud to be a part of that as the Rebels host the Saskatoon Blades and Adam Cambites. Coming up after the break, we meet the newest member of the Red Deer Rebels and a blast from the past with Shane Bandera.
Southside Dodge Chrysler Jeep and RV Center is proud to serve Central Alberta. 100% satisfaction, friendly salespeople, and excellent customer service. Southside Dodge, home of the $10,000 giveaway. Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake is Central Alberta's #1 hockey training facility, boasting one of the world's largest skating treadmills and stick handling platforms. Learn, train, perform. Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake.
Hi everyone, Jack here at 360 Fitness Personal Training. If you're looking to lose weight, burn fat, and just feel great in your clothes again, 360 Fitness can get you there. Work one-on-one with our trainers to get you in the best shape of your life. Get results or your money back.
Welcome back to the show. On the same day that the Rebels made a coaching change, the Rebels also put the wheels in motion to bring Reese Dino to town. With more on him, here's Jared Waldo.
Back to Hamilton, has it at the hash marks on the right. Out to Dino, scores!
So far, so good for Reese Dino. Since signing with the Rebels, Dino has found a nice home in Red Deer, nestled in the team's top 6 and seeing significant ice time. Confidence has played a big role in the 19-year-old's quick start as a Rebel, and credits his head coach for the reasons behind his early success.
Definitely Brent's he's put a lot of confidence in me, and my line mates, Turner, he's really stepped up and showed me how to be Red Deer Rebels. So yeah, I can't say enough about Brent with the confidence he's put into me.
Success early on is good news for Dino, who seems to be acclimatizing well to his new home in Central Alberta. Like so many players who have come to Red Deer this season, Dino says the transition has been a good one.
This is one of the tighter group of guys I've been a part of. Definitely a well-run organization, and I can't believe the support from the fans this early.
It always helps to have the team captain and leading scorer on your line when you join a new squad. Turner Elson has been playing alongside Dino since his arrival and likes what he sees from the kid so far.
Obviously, he's a good player. He has a lot of skill, and he works hard. And he's a really good guy. He's good with the guys. He's really blended in really easy. And his point per game obviously shows that he has that skill, and he can put the puck in the net and make plays. So it's a really good addition.
Your biggest hope as an organization is that when you add a player, he adjusts to his teammates and his surroundings quickly. That doesn't seem to be an issue, according to the captain.
I don't know. He's just like a funny guy, and he's really nice, and he's all about the team, and he's that kind of player. And those guys always fit in a lot easier than guys that are all about themselves, kind of thing, So that's who he is, and it's really good to have him.
As for Dino, he knows it's going to be tough to keep at a point-per-game pace for the rest of the year, but says he's going to do what he can to see that his production stays at a high level.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm getting a lot of shots on net, and our line works well together, and our power play has been clicking. So whatever I'm doing right now, I'm just going to stick doing that.
For Rebels This Week, I'm Jared Waldo.
Thanks, Jared. The Rebels will now have 2 players taking part in the upcoming World Under-17 Hockey Challenge. Connor Blakely was previously named to play for Team Pacific, while his Rebels teammate Hayden Fleury has been named to play for Team West. Time for another installment of Train Like a Rebel. This time, Rebels captain Turner Elson takes us through the basics of good footwork.
This week on Train Like a Rebel, we're going to talk about footwork, and we do the ladder for footwork. The ladder is important just to get your feet moving, because obviously your feet are moving all the time on the ice, so you really got to make sure that you have it off the ice as well, because it translates to on ice. So we do a lot of ladder. We do about 10 to 15 different exercises on the ladder to make sure that our feet are ready to go for the ice sessions.
Well, not so long ago here at the NMAX Centrium, one of the more popular Rebels alumni made a stop in his old stomping grounds. Rebels Memorial Cup winning goaltender Shane Bendera was in the building. This is your first time in this arena since your playing days?
Yeah, it has been. Just 2 years ago we had the Rebel reunion there and we had breakfast down below, but other than seeing a game or being here, it's been quite some time, so it's good to be back.
And kind of fun for you in that this time around you get to bring the whole family with you.
Yeah, it is. My daughter's going to be 4 in January and she's never been to a hockey game, but so I thought perfect time to bring her to Kelowna Red Deer game.
That gets to share some old stories and say, hey, Daddy used to play for both those teams. I'm sure she gets a kick out of that.
Oh, exactly. And there's one Bendera jersey in the stands, so
it's good. Now, did you go up and tap them on the shoulder and see if they recognize you?
No, they were busy, so I kind of stayed back and watched the game. So
Shane Bendera, our guest here in the second intermission. Well, it's got to be a pretty good feeling knowing that there's at least one fan out there that remembers the glory days, remembers Shane Bendera from his time here in Red Deer.
Oh, exactly. It's always good to see somebody wearing your jersey, and be nice to see a few more, but one's good enough.
We can work on that. I'm sure there's more out there. They're probably signing up on the walls in man caves all over Red Deer.
Maybe. That's a long shot, but
one can always hope, right?
Exactly.
Well, you mentioned that reunion that took place about 1.5 years ago now, and that was the 10th anniversary of your guys' Memorial Cup championship team. Does it seem like anywhere near that long ago?
No, it wasn't. Just arriving at the hotel, seeing the guys check in, it seemed like yesterday that we were practicing or lifting up the cup. So 10 years, it went by quick.
No, a few moments ago I showed you an old photograph of that team on the ice in Regina right after the game. Boy, that had to bring back a lot of memories just looking at that photo.
Oh, it did. And like I said, in that reunion, seeing some of the guys, some of them look exactly the same. Colby Armstrong looks the same as he did when he was 17 playing here. So.
And do you get a kick out of that now? Like you mentioned, Colby was only 17 when you guys won that Memorial Cup here. Now he's a long-time NHLer. He's bounced around a little bit. And, obviously, he's getting a little notoriety on and off the ice.
Yeah. Well, he was always a big part of our team, and now he's doing it in the NHL. You look with Toronto there, he's a big part of that club too. So, he's a great guy on and off the ice.
Yeah, and a couple other guys off that team still floating around the NHL too. I know Jeff Woodcott bounces up and down. He gets a new lease on life every now and then, and Jimmy Vandermeer is still plugging away. So
yeah, I ended up talking with Woodcott a few weeks ago. So he's going back home to Vermilion to see his family. So, and then I still talk to Lucas Chuck and a couple of the guys. So.
Shane Bendera is our guest here in the second intermission of this game. Now, go back to that reunion 1.5 years ago. I talked to a couple of other guys off that team and said it was just a fantastic experience for them. And maybe just talk about what you took away from that weekend.
Oh, it was just an awesome experience, like you said. Going from golf to, it was unfortunate I couldn't play in the alumni game there. I hurt my foot there at work and still having problems with it, but it was just great being with the guys again. And Sutter put on a great performance there for us and I guess the fans. So.
Now, I've talked to a few guys off that 01 team over the last few years, guys like Jeremy Kelly and Frank On and a couple of others, and I've asked them this same question. I want to ask you, from your perspective, what made that such a special hockey club?
I guess just the boys, the guys. We just had a great bunch of guys, and we all clicked. And Sutter knew how to coach every single one of us. He brought the best out in all of us players, and it could show on the ice from previous years, from guys getting traded to the club, and I just have to say it was just being with all the guys. Like we were just a good bunch of guys on that club, and we all clicked. And
now, a bit of an interesting scenario for you in that midway through the next season, you got traded from the Rebels to the Kelowna Rockets.
Yeah, I got dealt at Christmas time. It came as a shock, but Kelowna was making a run for the Memorial Cup, and they were a great club, and nothing bad to say about them either. So during my WHL career, I got to play with 2 great organizations.
So after your time in the Western Hockey League, Shane, ended, where did hockey take you from there? I know you stayed involved for a few more years.
Yeah, I stayed involved. I went to Dayton, Ohio the next year, and played there for the full year. And then the next year I was up and down Elmira in the American Hockey League for a bit, and then got dealt to Bakersfield, California, and that's where it ended. And the strike the next year happened, and that's when I decided to pack it in.
All in all, was it, pretty interesting, did you enjoy your pro hockey experience?
I did. It was a great experience going pro, and but everybody asked me, what's your best memory? And it's junior hockey back here in Red Deer, so.
Yeah, pretty tough to beat when you reach the pinnacle in major junior hockey like you guys did in 2001.
Well, exactly, and it's all young guys that are battling just to get a pro contract and, showing their stuff, so it's pretty special here in Red Deer and the WHL.
So you've got your family, Shane, you're living in Edmonton these days. What else is Shane Bandera up to?
Not much. Started my own hot shotting company, so I'm subcontracting through a company called Dirtworks, and got a wife and 1 daughter, and living in Gibbons right now, so can't complain.
Keeping yourself plenty busy then.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, my daughter, like I said, was turning 4, so she's at that age where she's running around, getting into everything, so it's keeping me pretty busy.
Do you think that it could be one of those things where she gets the hockey bug too, like Dad did? Or do you think you would steer her either to it or from it, or are you just going to kind of let her see what happens?
I'm going to let her see what happens. She, we play hockey in the living room every once in a while until Mom comes home. So, she loves watching hockey. Put a hockey game on, she'll sit through the whole game, and she loves that aspect of it. But we'll see what happens with her.
Now, I promised Cam Moon I wouldn't ask him about any specific, I promised him I wouldn't have you say anything specific about some Cam Moon stories from back in the day, but needless to say, knowing the kind of personality he is, never a dull moment hanging around him.
No, not for him. I know he played against my cousin there, so his first story I remember when I came into the league was how my cousin was the tough guy in the league, and he ended up going end to end and bearing it on Mooner. So, every time I see him, I bring that up. So,
you guys both being Western Hockey League goaltenders at different areas, you guys trade some stories back and forth?
Yeah, we do. You look back at his stats, he's a pretty good goalie himself, so, and nothing but a stand-up guy.
Have you ever said that actually to him, about him being a good goalie?
No, that's between us and the viewers that are listening. So,
well, I don't think as I look over, he doesn't have his headset on right now, so I think we're in the clear.
Well, that's good.
Hey, thanks very much for doing this. Always a thrill to have a guy off the 01 Memorial Cup team here, and like you say, there's at least 1 Bandera jersey in the rink, so some fond memories amongst these Rebels fans too.
Well, perfect. Thanks a lot for having me.
Anytime. Come back again sometime.
I will for sure.
Shane Bandera was the starting goaltender for your Red Deer Rebels when they won the 2001 Memorial Cup in Regina, Saskatchewan. Coming up after the break, we go in the corners with Jared Waldo, and we go around the Western Hockey League. Hey Red Deer Rebels fans, have we got the show for you? Southside Dodge Rebels This Week is your #1 source for everything Rebels. Highlights, interviews, stats, and exclusive behind-the-scenes features brought to you each and every week by those who have their eye on the Rebels all season long. Southside Dodge Rebels This Week, weeknights on Shaw TV. Welcome back to the show. Time to go in the corners once again with Jared Waldo. This time one of these fun interview segments where we actually have to look at each other despite the obnoxious facial hair we both got going here at the time.
Pretty good, eh? You like that?
How are you doing with the donations? Are you still accepting, or?
Yeah, I'll take anything I can get. That's the radio mantra. But no, it's been going well, and November's a great cause and near and dear to me, especially this year, my uncle passing away with prostate cancer. So it's a great cause, and just happy to be a part of it.
So there you go. Hit him up on his website, Rebel Rebellion, and check him out on Twitter. He'll give you all the details if you'd like to donate to Movember on behalf of Jared Waldo. Now, speaking of this Red Deer Rebels Hockey Club, we're 5 games into the new Brent Sutter era, and I don't know, some people say it's a 180 with how this club is doing, mainly because they've won all 5 games, but what are you seeing since the change took place?
Well, I think it's a confidence thing, and the players will tell you that, and I think you can see it on the ice too. It's just, when they're on the ice there, and a lot of smooth passes and just getting out of their own zone, a lot of things that maybe necessarily they weren't doing before, just those little things that they've tweaked under Brent Sutter. One of the things he mentioned earlier in the week was that, it's one of those things that you hear great coaches talk about. Mike Babcock talks about it. Ken Hitchcock talks about it. They always talk about puck possession and how much that changes the outcome of a hockey game. And Brent Sutter mentioned that the other day about that's what's changed for him, is just making sure that they're owning more of the control in their own zone, dictating the play, and you're seeing it more and more on the ice, and so that's leading to more of the breakouts and more of the success for the Rebels right now, but it's just an overall confidence that seems to be working right now.
Yeah, and I know Sutter especially mentioned that after the Lethbridge game on Friday night, that he said point blank, the reason this team is playing better defensively is because they're holding on to the puck more. Now, another reason they're playing well defensively, Patrick Bartosak. I know we talk about him a lot, but especially in this last 5-game stretch, he's playing his best hockey perhaps as a Rebel.
Well, and it makes you wonder whether or not Bolton Pouliot's going to see the net before the new year, but Patrick Bartosak has been lights out, to say the least. He's probably the hottest goaltender in the WHL right now. 4 goals allowed in the last 5 games. It doesn't get much better than that. It's funny to think now where he started and how slow he came off that injury, and he admittedly wasn't playing his best hockey to start the year. And, he's a humble kid, too. He's not one to take credit for himself. Anytime you try and ask him about his success, he's always giving credit to the guys in front of him. So, it's just an attribute that he has that's very welcome on this hockey team. He stops 40 shots, 30 shots, 15 shots. He's saying that the pucks are easy to stop because everybody in front of me is clearing a path so I can see him. And, with him playing as well as he is right now, the rest of the team, they know that they can take chances because they've got such a brick wall in the net.
Good luck with the final week with the Mo.
Thank you very much.
Jared Waldo in the corners. Check him out on his website, rebelrebellion.com. Time now to check in with Jimmy from Complete Athlete in Sylvan Lake for the Skill Zone.
Hey, it's Jim from Complete Athlete. This week on the Skill Zone, we're going to focus on backward skating. Very important for all hockey players. In the game of hockey, transition is everything. Having the ability to go from forwards to backwards is of utmost importance. On the treadmill now, the athlete has proper posture now on the 2 slot, that being pressure on the toes. Backwards C-cuts, hip movement, and posture all allow the athlete to skate backwards with efficiency. Hip movement is very important as it shows the leg strength, which is a valuable component to most hockey players. More information on backward skating or the skating treadmill can be found at completeathlete.ca.
Well, as most of you know, the expansion project, the Seats and Suites project here at the NMAX Centrum continues, but some exciting developments now as the new seats have finally arrived. Half of them were installed before the weekend and the other half coming up. Now, for the time being, the new seats are only open to season ticket holders, but once more emergency exits and safety railings are put in place, the general public will have their crack at the new seats as well. Time now for news and notes from around the Western Hockey League. And if you work as a broadcaster in the Dub like I do, this is your Bible. It's the annual WHL official media guide, and the hard copies are very tough to get a hold of, but thankfully the Western Hockey League has made it very easy for you, the fans, to get your own copy, a digital copy. It came out just last week. Head on to WHL.ca and head to the online media guide for your very own copy, and you have all the same information that us reporters and radio guys have all throughout the season when covering the Western Hockey League. Now, here's a look at the other news and notes from around the league, including suspensions and standings. Well, that does it for this week's show. As always, hit us up on Twitter at Rebels This Week. Don't be afraid to check out our website either, rebelsthisweek.com. Here's the plays of the week with music from Diesel May. We'll see you next time.